Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. It is match day for Chelsea. First game in the Champions League up against Dinamo Zagreb at 5:45 today, kickoff time as well. Guys, you know what I need you to do? Make sure we're smashing the likes both on Chelsea Fan TV and GNA TV. Let's get these likes up, over 100 likes on both. We've got loads to get into before we get into the match discussions today. We're going to talk about Jorginho, Kovacic. Who else we got? Reece James. We're going to start with Mason Mount, Edouard Mendy. There's quite a lot. There's quite a lot to go through. A lot of sources, lots of things have come out today in regards to contracts, in regards to summer transfers, the plans, the ideas for next year's summer window. We're going to be talking about all of that today as well. On top of that, going through the Chelsea game tonight as well. How are Chelsea going to set up? What is Thomas Tuchel going to do to prepare the Chelsea, the boys today? But the lines will be open as well. So the lines will be open for that. Kickoff is in around, 4 hours time? Yeah, just 4 hours and 15 minutes away, or just under 4 hours and 15 minutes away is kickoff of this game. And we are here to bring you a preview before that. So make sure that you're comfy. Make sure you've got your food. Make sure you're relaxed. It's going to be a good show. Smash the likes and let's cue the intro. Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV and also Chelsea Fan TV. And we are still aired on both channels. We continue to be doing that throughout this season as well. So all of the things that we do on GNA TV also being shared with you guys over on Chelsea Fan TV as well. Over 100 of you guys combined here already. Nice to see every single one of you guys that are here. Please make sure that you're sharing this on your socials. So if you can see a little share button below, please share it, because that will allow new people to come along, come see what we're doing, get involved as well. But I want to say hello to everyone in the chat as always. I hope everyone is well. Indiana, my boy, is in the house. I hope you're well. Gavman, nice to see you. Chelsea Database's fun stat for tonight. Zagreb are unbeaten in 19 games at home. So that's an interesting one. Is that because... That must mean because they're set up well. That must mean that they're comfortable at home. They've turned it into a fortress. But they haven't played a team like Chelsea with the quality of Chelsea. It's the only thing I'm going to say. So let's see. I mean, we're not in the most greatest of form, to be honest. So to sit there and say quality, we haven't shown any quality other than the Tottenham game so far. But Andre, this is big up to remember your boy right here, Jem. Oh, Andre, man, I always remember you, bruv. I always remember you back in day. Always here from day dot as well. As the same as Owain, who's in the house as well. Nice to see you. Adam, nice to see you. Hope you're well. Mason, Football Style, Vidal, Matty K, M3, Nova the Super. Jem, when you going to sort the Ice Gem trim out? I've already had a haircut, bro. I've already had a haircut, my man. I've already had a haircut. Can't you see I'm looking fresh, bruv? I'm looking fresh. We're going to talk about Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well and his extension. Trust, we've got lots to get into today before we even talk about the game. Before we even get into the game. Big up to Jonathan in the house. CFC Pez as well. Big up to Dusty Rhodes as well. Nice to see you in the house. Harry, nice to see you. He's up the Chelsea. Big up to you, J-Cam. Nice to see you. Always interested to see what fans of these smaller clubs are talking about. Indiana is a Manchester United fan, guys. So if you're looking and you're seeing Indiana commenting, it's because it's a Man United fan. So, yeah, Chelsea Fan TV viewers, you ain't going to be able to see these comments. But if you're in GNA TV right now, you're probably seeing that Indiana's probably trolling. So just be aware of that on the way through. Big up to Jay in the house. Jay is here. Like I said, the lines are going to be open today as well. We're going to go through that a bit later on. What's with on the description? What's that about? God knows what I'm talking about. My ears got you. What's this on the screen? What's this on the screen? What's wrong? What is wrong, my man? What is wrong? Bring up to Tralala as well. Nice to see you, my man. Hope you're well. 10 men went to Mo Meadow. Yeah, we'll get into it a bit later. All right, let's get into things. All right. There's over 115 of you guys here. Hope you're good. Aren't you in the Mickey Mouse League? Yes, tell him, Hanno. Tell him. He is in the Mickey Mouse League. Man United are in the Mickey Mouse League. A lot of Man United fans feel that Chelsea are not going to make Champions League this season as well. They feel that Chelsea are going to finish 5th, 6th. This is what they're saying. This is what they feel, and this is what they're saying about Chelsea right now, man. Can't be having that. Can't be having that, guys. We cannot be having that. All right, let's get into things. We've got lots to get into, lots and lots and lots to talk about before we talk about the game. Let's start with the comments on Reece James, who has agreed to sign a new deal at Chelsea, 5 year plus 1 year contract at Chelsea. He is going nowhere. There was also interest from Real Madrid in the player, but it was inevitable that he was going to sign. This boy has got blue blood. This boy is a Chelsea player through and through. And I keep saying it. We have the best fullback, wingback in the Premier League. It doesn't matter who, how, what anyone says to you from a rival. There ain't a better right back or fullback in the league than Reece James. He possesses everything. And when you look at how important he is, and you look at the Leeds game where we missed him and we missed that sort of, directiveness down the wing, the creativity that he brings, the ability to able to score as well in front of goal. Very good finishing. He brings a lot of ability to Chelsea. And it was important, integral that Chelsea tie him down, stop the interest, keep him happy, keep him at Chelsea. He's getting a decent, from what I've been told, quite a decent wage package as well. And I'm happy for him. I really am happy for him. He did leave a comment after the whole announcement thing about signing the contract. And it says here, Reece James, I grew up supporting this club. And I've been here since I was 6. I put pen to paper on a new deal because this is a club I want to be at. I like to say special thanks to the fans. I'm here to stay, and we have a bright future ahead of us. Now, Reece James, supposedly, apparently from what I've read on Twitter, is also going to be having a banner created for him at the bridge. So there could be a Reece James banner created at the bridge very, very soon as well, which is great news for me. I think that's great news. That's great news for us. Great news to see as well. So, yeah, interesting stuff. There's what people saying in the chat about the whole thing. That's just Jem. That's what he looks like. Don't worry, Jem. Nothing unusual on the screen. I think Kyle will score today if Aubameyang starts. Obviously, Thomas Tuchel has made it clear. We're going to talk about a bit later on that he feels Aubameyang could play, but not the full 90 minutes. So it might be a case that he comes on later in the game, etc., etc. Indiana says Reece James, outstanding talent. He's the best right back in the league. No doubt, better footballer than Trent. And that's from a Man United fan. That's what we want to see, man. That's what we want to see. That is what we want to hear. It needs to come to the theatre of dreams. Nah, the theatre of nightmare at the moment. The theatre of nightmare. You guys have done nothing. 1-0. Sterling, Bang and Havertz, assist, Kante, Silva, Kante and Burrows are at Tralala saying, who's creating for Aubameyang? James. Well, James will be one of them. Zakaria can be another one. Chilwell can be another. I think Sterling will, do his bit in between that as well. Mason Mount and Havertz. It's going to be interesting with Havertz more than Mason Mount for me. If he does play Havertz, Mount, Sterling, I would like to see that. And he might play Mount along with him as well if he plays the 4. Silva didn't travel. Look, this whole thing about Silva not traveling is a good thing, I think. I think he deserves to have that break. He's played every minute this season so far. And to be honest, even though Dinamo Zagreb, as Chelsea database has said, hasn't lost a game for a while, I still feel that we have a good enough squad to go there and make sure that we get the win. And I know we're not in no great form, but it's going to be interesting to see. 1 second, guys. Some breaking news just coming. Chelsea have hired Damien Willoughby from EA Sports as a commercial. Willoughby joins. What does that say? Big role with new owners looking for serious growth. Okay, cool. We've got some more news on Chelsea that's just come out as well, which I'm going to go to next quickly as well. But yeah, Reece James to Chelsea is a done deal. There's other contract discussions that we've got to get into as well. Over 226 of you guys here combined. Nice to see all 200 of you guys here as well. Make sure that we're smashing the likes, guys. Get these likes up. We are going to be opening up the lines later today as well. I want to get you guys involved. Some little bit of breaking news. This second ago, literally, or a couple of minutes ago. Chelsea have hired Damien Willoughby from EA Sports as the commercial director. Willoughby joins after being chief executive of City Football Group, India, and was at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge as head of sponsorship until 2010. Big role with new owners looking for serious growth. Now, look, I don't know much about Damien Willoughby. All I know is that he has been involved at Chelsea prior to 2010. He comes back from what we understand to help Chelsea commercially grow better. The new owners feel that he's the man that can help grow the brand, the football club itself, bringing the money, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. The globe, as much as it is important on the pitch and getting Champions League and whatever, it's growing Chelsea globally. And we already know Chelsea are one of the biggest, I would say, or up there, up there in terms of their global marketing aspect. They're up there, but in terms of the new step, the bigger future, and for Todd Bowley and Egg Bailey to want to bring this guy on, it's about growing the brand itself. Chelsea are worth what? Was it 4 billion, 3 billion, whatever it was when Roman Abramovich sold Chelsea? Yeah. The aim is to grow that. The aim is to make it a bigger company, and that's massive. And you know what? Chelsea were bought, I think Chelsea themselves were bought, in terms of how much they were worth, they were the highest, they cost, I think it was the biggest deal in history in terms of the cost, so you look at how much we were valued at that point and what we could be 10 years down the line, which is what they've got at the moment, a 10-year agreement of not being able to take any shares out of the football club as well. They're going to look to try and grow it. They're going to try and work hard on not only on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. So interesting news there. You see how that works in terms of the growth of Chelsea in a later stage. I don't know much about the guy, so I can't say much. He's already here, Jim. Yeah, I know. What are you talking about? Mendy needs dropping tonight. Well, it might happen. Moving like United with the Glazers, it's all downhill from here. I don't think we are. I mean, look, Glazers spend money, but they offer completely stupid wages. What we've done in the short space of time under Bowley is get rid of players that are deadwood, which you seem to struggle to still do. We've got rid of 90% of the people in the books that we didn't want. And we're, making room for growing the squad and making the squad a better squad, making it more a challenging squad. These are things that are important. Liam Lane, nice to see you as well. Yes, big up to CFC OG in the house. He says, just get the likes and subs up as well. Please do that on both GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV as well. Did I? I said Reece James signs a new contract. Didn't say done deal. Oh, God knows. Anyway, we move. Do we have a football director yet? No, we do not have a footballing director as of yet. That's something that's going to come, I feel, along with the head of recruitment. We know Scott McLaughlin has now left Chelsea. He is now not a part of Chelsea. And I think the DOF will have a heavy connection to who the head of recruitment is. It could be that we announce both together. It could be that we tie up the DOF and then work with the DOF, the manager, Bowley, to try and understand the system, the platform. What is the platform? What route do Chelsea want to go down in terms of structure in the next couple of years? Because once that DOF comes in, it's going to be a clear structure in place of how we deal with things, not only on the pitch with players coming in and out, structures of wages, payments, branding. There's a lot to it. Did you add what you need in this window? I would say Aubameyang is desperate. I think we've added quite a lot. I think we know that there's still areas that we need to improve. There's certain areas that we need to improve in the club. But it's about addressing as many areas as possible. We was never going to go through this whole summer window getting them all done. We still need more of a creative players in the team, in the forward line, in midfield. Don't have that. But what we have brought in is to cover Rudiger, is to cover Christensen, is to bring back up to Chilwell, is to add to the forward line because we lost Werner, we've got rid of Lukaku, Callum Hudson-Odoi's gone on loan. We're adding to the squad. We're trying to improve the core of the squad. And then onwards, it's about how quick can we improve the depth. And that will come at a later stage. Whether it's season 2, season 3, whatever, Thomas says, big up, Jim. Keep it good. Big up to you, my man. Hope you're good as well. Hope you are well. Over 208 people on Chelsea Fan TV, guys. Only 40 likes there. Let's get them likes up as well. GNA TV, we've got over 90 of you on here as well. Only 36 likes. Come on, let's get this over 50 likes. Hit the thumb if you haven't done already. I am going to be opening up the lines very shortly for you guys as well. What does that even mean? There's so many weird people in the gym. Why are your hair looking hella dusty, fam? It's Edwin from the Leisure Centre. Edwin from the Leisure Centre. Edwin from the Leisure Centre. I don't know who Edwin is, mate. I can't remember it. If I do remember, I don't, mate. From what leisure centre? Tell me what leisure centre you're talking about, man. Tell me. We need a proper OG DOF and maybe a new sports psychologist as well, is what Chelsea OG is saying. Do what Couch is saying. Please do not spam the chat, please, guys. Let's try and stay away from doing that. I'm happy with the window. I hope Zakaria starts. He looked like a beast when he was training. I'm not going to lie. He looked like a beast. Gems thinking, who the fuck is Edwin? I am literally thinking that right now. I'm trying to think. I'm like, do I know this guy? Does this guy know me? How does he know me? How does he know me? Let's move on because we've still got quite a lot to get into. And I want to open up the lines as well. And I want to start with Nizar Kinsella's comments today. Nizar Kinsella's comments today, which are new contracts are on the agenda for Chelsea, new owners. Mason Mount has had provisional talks, but very early days. Edouard Mendy has rejected an early offer, which was lower than what Kepa is on. Now, we're going to get into that. And people are going to say, well, what's he turned away? What's happened? Well, reading the article, and the article was from the Evening Standard, is that Chelsea open to Mason Mount's new contract, talks of Edouard Mendy rejects first offer. And then it goes on to say that Chelsea are making plans to tie down Mason Mount and Edouard Mendy to new contracts after securing the future of Reece James, as we know. Reece James signs a 6-year contract worth $250K a week, thoroughly deserved in terms of the player himself, how important he is. Chelsea owners have made talks with Mount and Mendy one of their next priorities. Professional discussions are taking place between co-owners Todd Bowley and Mount, who has 2 years remaining on his current deal and is on line to become one of the highest earners at the club. Mount is yet to be presented with a formal offer, but is happy at the bridge, and there is optimism on an agreement will be reached with the England midfielder. Obviously, we know James has got an agreement there. In terms of Mendy's case is more complex. The Senegal goalkeeper has already turned down the initial offer from Chelsea, who kicked off their Champions League, blah, blah, blah. The 30-year-old is said to have been offered an inferior terms to back up Kepa Arriba because Arriba Zaga, who negotiated his 190,000 a week contract when he joined for 71 million in 2018. Mendy is among the lowest earners at Chelsea with his current deal rolling out in 2025. Now what the issue is that whatever Chelsea have put forward to Mendy is a lot lower than Kepa. But the issue that we have with Kepa's contract is, in theory, we should have never tied him down to such a long contract at 190K a week. I don't care what anyone says, whether you like him or you don't like him, he is not worth that. He is not on 190K a week goalkeeper. He doesn't play, he doesn't kick a ball. And now we're stuck with a player on the wage structure who's taking 190K a week as a second goalie, who was meant to be our first goalie. And that falls on the hands of the old guard. The old guard were the ones that prepared this. Kepa was a panic buy. He was a big panic buy. And in his earlier performances before Mendy come in, he was, for me, not even 100K a week goalie. We've lost a ton of market value on him, as it is anyway. The amount of market value we lost to when we spent 71 million, I think he was going for like 18 mil. It's nearly as bad as Romelu Lukaku, who we can't seem to get rid of now. And we don't want to get rid of because we want to try and, make some market value on him. We're going to have a loss on Lukaku. We're never going to make that 100 mil back. But we're going to try and make at least a quarter or at least just under a half of our money back on him, or try. Can't do that with Kepa because he don't start. Can't do that with Kepa. That is a problem for me. Mendy is currently among the lowest earners at Chelsea. Recent errors against Leeds, West Ham have led to criticism over his recent performance, but Tuchel's backed his number one after Saturday's 2-0 win over the Hammers. I think it's a very sensitive position in football in general, and is not everything that's just pure quality and only about decision making. It's also about the feeling that you feel, the confidence, and sometimes it's a bit of having the luck. Yeah, but it is. But at the same time, he's not doing. And we can criticise Mendy. I'm not saying Mendy hasn't done anything wrong. He has been poor. He seems to be not finding that consistency that we've seen when he first came and when he was under Tuchel specifically, and how good he was under Tuchel, because he was very good under Tuchel at the beginning when he came in. He needs to find that. And as much as it's about luck and moments, I get that. He's also not making things easy for himself. He's not just making the right decision when he receives the ball. We know he don't like playing the ball out sometimes. Hoof it. Just hoof it. And even if it pisses off Tuchel, because you've got a player around you, who gives it? Like, you're clearing your lines. Little things. And, even he's saving, even his corners. He used to be so good at corners. He used to be direct. He used to be aggressive. I used to be like, yeah, we've got a goalie in goal now who's solid. Even his corners have been shocking. I know we've been awful at corners this season. Awful. He's been a part of it. So he does need to step up. He does need to step up. He wants more than what Kepa's got, which is 190k, and I understand it. Again, I blame us. I blame the old guard for giving Kepa 190k a week. But if you're the number one goalie who's being offered 140k a week, for example, when the second goalie is on 190k, you're not going to take it. You've either got to match it or give him a little bit more. And I don't think we really want to do that. So now it's going to be about negotiating. So this is what you need also from leaders and from goalkeepers. And they have the kind of momentum that if they do a little mistake, it's not punished. Now he gets punished a lot for not a lot of what he does wrong. But there are no doubts in my mind. The situation is calm. We have two fantastic goalkeepers, two fantastic guys. We are aware of it. We are aware of it that Mendy is in the kind of situation. But first, we deal inside and then we tell you. The future of Jorginho and Kante we're going to talk about in a second. But, the Mendy thing's an interesting one because he's not going to sign. He's not going to sign a deal unless we close the gap to what what Kepa's been given. I don't think Mendy's going to leave. I don't think he's going to leave. I think we wouldn't even let him leave. To be honest with you guys, I don't think that's going to happen. Mount doesn't deserve a new contract, is what Showtime's saying. Big up to Showtime that's in the house as well, guys. Over 406 people here. Make sure that we're smashing the likes. Get these likes up. Lee says, Jim, his supply of talent through the academy that we've enjoyed for almost a decade seems to have dried up. Is it a problem with the scouting system or the structure, or have the other clubs caught up? It's a good question, really. It's a real good question, Lee, in terms of our academy, because there were, when you looked at the books of the amount of players that we had in the academy, there was a lot of good prospects. The issue is Chelsea's first team, and if you look at the way that we've sort of, and it's not even just under Tuchel, but the way that we've been structured over the years, is that if we have an issue in positions, we tend to turn to the market, and we've always looked to replace rather than bring in. And maybe there could have been opportunities for certain individuals to get in the team if they were given the opportunity. But then you've got to think about it from the manager's perspectives. And I'm talking about the Chelsea managers in the past that we've had. If you're a manager that's coming in whose targets are to maybe win the Premier League or, finish top four and win a trophy, go far in the Champions League, it's very hard to give time or bring players in like the academy players and give them the time and the game time that they need in such a competitive nature. And I think that we were in a position in the past where I don't think managers could afford to do that, because if things didn't work out and we went downhill, then we would lose them or we would switch it. We'd get rid of the managers and we'd move on. And I think managers were so heavily under pressure in achieving their targets because we used to spend so much money on players and have a decent squad of crop players that I don't feel like the academies were given the opportunity to be a part of the team. We're in a position now where obviously Lampard comes through the door, he brings Mason Mount and Reece James through the doors. That decision was made, but I think Lampard had it a bit more easier because we kind of knew that we were in a position where we lost all of our key best players from the past, and then it was about a rebuild, and we couldn't do that because we was on a ban, so we had to rely upon Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, Reece James. So we were kind of forced into bringing the academy in. And when you think about that position and where we are to this point, I'm so happy that in its way did kind of happen, because we wouldn't have heard about these players, we wouldn't have known about Reece James. And now look at him. It's just that I feel like it's a very limited area for academy players to come in at Chelsea and do well. You know, be given the opportunity. You have to be very special and you have to take your chance. If you get the chance, you have to take it and you have to really prove a point as to why you are ready for that team or for the first team. If you don't and it doesn't work and you fall far away from it, then you just go out on loan and ultimately you just get sold, or you just stay on loan and we just make money from it. You know, that has always been the way of doing things, you know. But have teams caught up? Maybe to a degree. I think when you look at the academy players that we've bought in recently and paid money for, I think we've bought in top prospect players. We've got that Russian guy coming in January as well, Arsene, whatever his name is. He looks very good as well. These are players that are going to be looking to break into the team at some point. So I do feel that Todd Bowley may force Thomas Tuchel to start looking at the young prospects more than what we did back with the old guard. With the old guard, we just wouldn't have done it. You know, in the old guard, we just wouldn't have done it. But good question, mate. Good question to get into. Big up to Declared. Nearly over 500 of you guys here, man. Big up to every single one of you guys. As always, we'll be opening up the lines very, very soon. We spoke about Edouard Mendy. We spoke about Mount, obviously. We spoke about Reece James. We're now going to talk about Jorginho and the midfield. Obviously, Kante seems to be a player that's going to be offered potentially a contract, providing that he agrees to reduce his wages, bearing in mind he's not playing much game time. I don't think that'll be hard unless he really wants to leave. I feel with Jorginho, and it says here that Jorginho's looking unlikely to sign a new deal and no talks have started yet. I feel he's in a position now where he probably wants to go back, and I wouldn't hold him back. I wouldn't hold him back. If Jorginho wants to leave Chelsea and he wants to move forward, let him move forward. We've got Zakaria here who's on the loan. Now, he's got the opportunity to approve Tuchel, Bowley, to buy him and show us the sort of form that we saw back at Gladbach when he was there. So this is an opportunity for him. And it's going to be interesting to see Zakaria and how he works at Chelsea. You know, there's talks about other midfielders coming in the summer, and I do feel that we will attack that area in the window. I do feel we will improve that area. But if Jorginho doesn't want to hang around and sign a new contract, I think that's a good thing. I do feel it's a good thing. I know I said about him staying for rotation, and I'm cool for rotation, but I think he needs to understand that he's not going to be starting many games in the future at Chelsea. Now, we're kind of past the boat of Jorginho starting games. I've had enough of it now. If they were all fit, I wouldn't start him. I'd use him as rotation. You know, I just feel that in the system that we play and how he plays, he's a very limited player. Not a completely bad player. He's just limited in the way that he plays the game. And we know that he's limited capabilities. That is that he doesn't have recovery speed. You know, he recycles the ball, okay, quite well, but it doesn't really lead to much. He can play the ball a bit direct, but he pick and chooses when he wants to do that. He doesn't do it enough. His reading of the game is very good. I think he does read the game very well, you know, and try and intercept and whatever, but he's not strong enough. He's not physical enough. You know, these are all little things that are not helping this midfield, and the gaping holes and areas that we keep having with Jorginho in the team is just not good enough. It's just not good enough at Chelsea. We can't be relying and giving people like Jorginho contracts who thinks he's going to be starting game after game after game. It's just not going to happen. Miles is saying send him back to Italy. Jorginho isn't ready for the Prem anymore, is what Veli's saying. Apparently in January, we're going back in to get a midfielder. I'll be shocked at it, but we could do. Does Chelsea build a statue for Kante outside the bridge? Probably not. Chelsea's under 90 is currently getting slapped. Yeah, I heard about that. Bro had to start. We're going to talk about the game very shortly. We'll get into the end of that, and then we're going to start talking about the game as well, guys. So make sure that we're smashing them likes, though. Let's get these likes up. Let's kind of get over 100 likes on both channels, GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV, if we can. We've got over 318 of you guys on Chelsea Fan TV. Nice to see you guys here as well. And on GNA TV, we've got over 165. So we're growing on that side, but let's get the likes up. Both only got 72 likes and 55 likes. So let's get them likes up, guys. Hit the thumb. Hit that thumb. Yeah, we are going for Alvarez, Gem. Well, I think they might, you know, they said they'd re-look at it in January. But now that Zakaria is here, and depending on how well Zakaria performs, I don't think we might do that. I think we might look at it in the summer when Jorginho goes. You know, Jorginho's comments here that came out today, funny enough. It wasn't easy the first year. We were winning and everything looked good. But then so many things happen. I had to put in a lot of work to gain everyone's respect. I always try to look on the bright side and change people's perception of me. he kind of is feeling the pressure. He kind of feels the pressure. And I think he knows himself. I'll be honest with you. I think he knows himself that he's a limited player. You know, he goes on to say that I said myself, these people are wrong about me and it's not fair. Both in football and in life, it's all about the facts, not the words. You can demonstrate that on the pitch and through your results. That's what I've always tried to do. But you ain't demonstrating it on the pitch as well. You know, you've had good moments or patches of form under Thomas Tuchel. But other than this, I don't think we've seen enough of consistency from Jorginho. And that falls down to just him being limited or being able to only play a certain way or having too many weaknesses to his game. These are things that he can't change because he's just built like that. You can't make Jorginho faster. You can't make Jorginho stronger or bigger. These are things you can't do. You know, like we know he's good at recycling the ball, moving the ball, this, that, and the other. But it's just not enough. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. You know, I feel anyway. But anyway, we'll see what happened more with Jorginho at a later stage. We've got what we've got left. We've got news on Ruben Loftus-Cheek from Simon Phillips, which is an interesting one. And he's brought out an article here saying that Ruben Loftus-Cheek's in line for a new contract. Chelsea are working hard on a number of new contracts, obviously after Reece James. It was always the plan that once the transfer window was over, intentions will turn to new contracts at the club, and there are many to be looked at. Now, we spoke about Edouard Mendy's contract, which is going to be extended very soon, and as Mason Mount's. But he's also been told that the club are working on an extension and new improved terms for Mateo Kovacic. But as I have said recently, Kovacic is a little 50-50 on his future right now and has a return to Italy in the back of his mind. However, the situation is open and Chelsea are trying to convince him. Now, that's, again, another player that I don't really want to see go. You know, Jorginho goes, Kante, if we can get him to extend his stay, do. But if he wants to go, let him go. But, I want us to keep Kovacic. I think Kovacic is a player that is benefiting from playing with Tuchel and will get better with an actual DM or a player that can actually sit and he doesn't have to worry too much on the defensive side, you know, because he knows there's someone behind him. So if he knows someone's behind him, he's going to venture forward more. He's going to do what he does best more. And I feel like he's kind of does it, but he limits himself to doing it because he's worried about the hole in midfield. As well as that, I'm being told Ruben Loftus-Cheek is in line for a new contract extension with his current deal also running out in 2024. So Chelsea have got 2 years for Ruben, and they're even still looking to keep him, which is an interesting one. Meanwhile, as I reported yesterday, the club are trying to convince N'Golo Kante to have extended his deal at Chelsea, but on a reduced terms due to his injury record. We will have to wait and see if they get anywhere with that, because Kante is another player who has been considering his future. Chelsea are working on a new contract for Mount right now, and there's conclusions expected to be reached that all parties will be content with. It's a bit up in the air in the midfield, isn't it? You know, Kovacic is looking to maybe stay or go, doesn't know yet. Kante still looking at his future and maybe going elsewhere to finish off his career. Maybe PSG might knock on the door for him. Jorginho is saying that he don't really want to stay and that he probably will go. You know, that leaves all of them open up in the air. I think we have to tie down Kovacic. We've got Zakaria. He may not be good enough and may end up going back to Juventus, which may happen, which I hope he don't. I hope he does turn up and he solves a bit of a problem, you know, and that we can utilise him, because it would be great for 30 million or 27 million euros to be kept at Chelsea. It would make a lot more sense. But then again, we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait. Do you think they need a midfielder next season? Do you think they need them? We do, yeah. We do, 100%. We do need a midfielder next season. Ruben is a utility player. You can use him as a quick fix for many positions. It's like having Milner on the team. He is, but it's again the level that he plays it. And I don't like Ruben in a 6. I don't really want to see him in a 6 once we go and address that area next season. Then you think about how can you utilise him. Wing back, if we stick to the 3. But then you're thinking about the 8s area. And we've got so many 8s in the team at the moment. I think it's very hard to just say we'll play Ruben there or play him there. And I don't mind having him as squad depth because I think Ruben is that. At the same time, I wouldn't really be bothered if we loaned him, providing we sort out the depth, and we have good backup and we have a solid core. If we don't, then it makes no sense to me. You keep him and then you see how it goes from there. You see how it goes from there. Ruben is a baller. There's so many Ruben lovers in the house. I don't hate Ruben, but my questions of Ruben are the same questions as I have for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Same thing. Same thing. They have all the ability in the world. And we know that. But what stops them from unlocking their ability and doing and playing consistently at a higher level and showing us what they're about is them. Up here. I feel. That's my feeling. It's not that I hate Ruben. I like Ruben. I think he's a good option. He's a good squad depth player. We can utilise him. But I just feel there's more in him. We could have more of him. He could show us more. He could be more consistent. He could give more. I just don't want him to keep fading in and out of games. When he wants to be really good, he's good. When he doesn't want to be really good, he's just crap. That is it. That's how I feel. Big up to Simon in the house, man. Hope you're well, man. Hope you are well. All right, so there we go. That's that. What we got left before we get into... we need to get into the game, don't we? Some of these Chelsea... All right, so yeah, this is interesting stuff. So apparently the new owners have been taking Azpilicueta out for food. Great food, great meal. It says some of the Chelsea new owners took Azpilicueta out for dinner. One of the subjects that came up was why he thought the club had had so many problems filling the striker position. It's thought that Azpilicueta found it hard to explain, suggesting it could be the pressure. I've already said what to do with this number 9 shirt. If the pressure comes from the shirt number because of the past, just get rid of it. Stop giving it to him. Don't give him the number 9. Put the number 9 in the bin. Don't have to see the number 9 again. It's a number. If that's what the pressure is, get rid of the number. Give him something else. Give him blimmin' 69. Give him 69. Give him whatever, 11. I don't know. Make up a new striker number. 99. Just make up a new striker number. Maybe it will trend. 99 or 69 or whatever. Whatever you want to pick, Aubameyang's going to be interesting. I think Aubameyang's going to be interesting. Because I am on the fence with it. I don't know what to expect from Aubameyang or what we're going to get from Aubameyang. Guys, over 328 of you guys on Chelsea Fan TV. Only 81 likes though, guys. Let's get this over 100 over there. Should easily be well over that. On GNA TV, nearly 200 of you guys there as well. 70 likes. Let's again get this over 100 likes, man. Let's get this over 100 likes. Give me strikers 69. Why not, man? They're just making up numbers, Why not? Right, what else have we got left? In terms of quick summer transfer news for you guys. So what are Chelsea up to? Well, apparently Chelsea are ideally wanting Rice and Alvarez, is what Simon Phillips is saying. He feels that both are required. Now, I don't feel both could be required if Kovacic, Kante and Jorginho all decide not to renew or stay. Then we'd have to need both. But if Zakaria performs, Kovacic signs a deal, Kante signs a deal to extend, Jorginho leaves, then you can get Alvarez or Rice or both. If you really want to have really good squad depth, and Zakaria performs well and he doesn't go back to Juventus, you could have Zakaria, Declan Rice, Alvarez, Kovacic, Kante. That's 5 players in the team. But then do you want to be spending 50, 60 mil on Alvarez and spending another 80, 90 plus mil for Declan Rice for 2 DMs? I don't think they will. And that's why I feel that they'll probably go for either or if Zakaria performs. If Zakaria stays and we spend 30 mil on him or whatever the fee is for him, I don't see us spending 80 and 50 or 90 or 150. Do you know what I mean? On 2 DMs. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It's an interesting one. you know, but that's a lot of money. Rice is overrated. You can imagine Kai and Johnny if you had a midfield of Monopoly money Mount. Do you know what I mean? They'd be pulling their hairs out, mate. Oh, great. Neil Aubameyang takes the number 9. He does. Yes, he does. Rice is not worth it. Some people feel Rice is not worth it. He said he can play there. Don't see that as what wants to play Zakaria there. Well, I think if we stick to the pivot, then Zakaria will be the one that sits deeper at the moment. But if you bring in Declan Rice or Alvarez, 2 are sitters, then you might see that we switch it to a 4-3-3. You know, and not the 4-2-2 with the pivot. So you have like 1 sitter and 2 in front, and 2 in front could be Kovacic and whoever, Mount, Zakaria, who can play a bit further forward. I don't know. You know, I could suddenly I'm a better player than him. Josh Thompson does not like here. Oh, Josh, you're an Arsenal fan, aren't you? I just remembered who you are, mate. You're an Arsenal fan. You are an Arsenal fan, mate. You're an Arsenal fan. That's it, Lee. Sort him out, mate. Yeah, tell him. Tell him in the chat, bro. Tell him in the chat. Anyway, Chelsea have got a game tonight. Let's get on to the game, and then we're going to open up the lines and get you guys in as well. Chelsea are playing Dinamo Zagreb tonight. I couldn't find anything on online that showed me that we've played them before. I think this is the first game that Chelsea and Dinamo Zagreb have ever played against each other, because I couldn't find any games where they played each other in the past. No history, no stats to like bring up head-to-heads. It was just 0. But Kovacic's hometown. We're going back to Kovacic's hometown. A bit of an emotional one for him. Obviously, we saw his press conference yesterday as well. You know, he will start. I think he will start. The fact that it was a part of the interview, I think he'll start. Also, who will be attending that game, again, showing their pure intentions, unlike the Glaziers, Indiana, who's in the chat. Todd Bowley and Begdad Egbali are out in Zagreb. These guys are fully invested in more ways than one, and it's not even just on transfers, it's also in the team. They are watching, they are monitoring, they are showing their presence, they're showing that they're there, and I think that's a good thing. I think players, managers know him, that the owners are invested as much as maybe Todd Bowley and Begdad Egbali are. I'm hoping that it continues, you know, because like I said, the short-term image is always deceiving. It has to continue. As long as it may continue, I think it's a good thing that the owners or one of the owners are there watching and about. I think Todd Bowley will be more invested in the long run in watching games and whatever. Might be wrong. Might see Begdad also involved. I mean, he is a billionaire. You know, they're both billionaires. They don't need to specifically be sitting in front of a desk, do they? You know? But yeah, they're there tonight. They're there tonight as well, which is showing their commitment to the cause. Now, we're just going to do a quick pre-match briefing, and then we're going to get into formation layout. Well, let's get into it. It's obviously on the Chelsea FC website, and it says that Chelsea's Group E trip to Dinamo Zagreb is the 198th different side we have met in all competitions, but the first from Croatia. So this is the first time Chelsea have met a team from Croatia, guys. Quarterfinalists last season, the Blues have lost only twice in the past 15 Champions League games on the road. Good form in the Champions League, Chelsea. What does this mean? That means that the Blues will also be first to use the semi-automated offside technology. So there's a new offside technology being used today. Semi-automated offside technology will be used in the Champions League, which we are also trialled for FIFA while winning last season's Club World Cup. So we've already used it before. It's being used in the Champions League now. The system combines the tracking of 29 body parts with the use of a microchip in the ball to reduce delays and dependencies on decisions. So this is to help and enforce the offside rule. And whether this works in the Champions League, you might see that this grows and becomes a thing in the Premier League at a later stage. But Chelsea were using it, or was, a part of it in the last year in the World Cup when they were playing in the FIFA World Cup. So interesting stuff. The month's international break, Chelsea will now alternate between Champions League midweeks and Premier League weekends up to mid-November. So from now up to the mid of November, for 2 days, because we have for 2 games a week, you're going to be having Champions League football and Premier League football. So 2 games a week, so there'll be a lot going on. The intensity is such that while that the Blues' last group campaign lasted 86 days, the Winter World Cup has constricted that it's just 58 this year. It had to be, wouldn't it? Hosts Dinamo, meanwhile, have already played 6 qualifying fixtures in the competition, but have had an extra day's recovery as they beat Rijeka 3-1 at home. Tuchel's side should still be glowing from a sizzling derby victory a couple of days ago. Team news. We already know that. Let's have a look. It should be Kai Havertz, who said he picks his moments, but admitted he needed that second strike in the 15 games, was sat by Ben Chilwell. So what was that to do with team news? I didn't have no team news. All 3 could start. So Havertz, Brower could all start. Chilwell could start. Aubameyang is available and could be used on his debut as well, which is interesting if he starts or not. Zakaria will wear the number 20. He's available as well. The only players that are not available, Trevor Chalobah is another one that's also available. The ones that ain't available are Thiago Silva, who we know is being rested. No injuries, just being rested. And then N'Golo Kante, who we know is obviously with an injury. Kovacic could start tonight as well. Other than that, he's took a full fit team. There's Aubameyang in his mask, ready to go for the Chelsea. Aubameyang sporting his specially made protective face mask. He's worn before. This is not new to him. Do you know what I mean? He's used to it. The Blues will target the second clean sheet of the season in Croatia. Azpilicueta, Kepa between the posts, although Mendy has recovered from his injury and is available at the squad. He speaks about that. Fofana is another one who is available tonight as well for Chelsea. Last season, the Londoners lost the first away match of the group to Juventus, who went on to claim the top spot, but had won the previous 3. After seeing the restart, he wanted against the Hammers. Tuchel says his side had to give a humble accept the fight this evening. Have to be humble and accept the fight this evening. Most UEFA Champions League titles is Real Madrid, AC Milan, Liverpool, Barcelona, Ajax, Inter Milan, Man United, Chelsea. So Chelsea is sitting in the bottom with the 2, with Porto, with Juventus, with Benfica. We've one of many Champions Leagues as Juventus. That's mad. I thought they'd won more than 2. Honestly, thought they'd won more than 2. So who's a threat? So they said Orsic is a threat. Where is it? So it says here, the simple goal from Rijeka that spoiled their perfect Friday evening through places, question marks over their defensive organisation on corners. Apparently they're quite good at corners, Dinamo Zagreb. Hackett may field a 4-5-1 formation tonight with Bruno Petkovic, the classic lone striker, a deep line playmaker such as Misic, and a mobile attacking midfielder such as Barterina in between their sparky right foot wingers as well. So they've got a lot of dangers in their team that could cause Chelsea problems. The rampant Lions European pedigree after the span of 20 seasons, no club has qualified for Europe's elite competition as regularly as Chelsea. The Londoners have reached 3 finals since 2008 and have lifted the trophy twice. Only Liverpool, with 14, have won more major Europeans and international competitions than Chelsea, who have 9. So Chelsea's Champions League qualifications is 18 times. No one's qualified more than Chelsea in the Champions League. Then Man United have 17, 15 for Arsenal, 14 for Liverpool, Man City 12. So we're leading the race of qualifying and being involved. Yeah, and I think that's it, man. There's not much else to say. There's the ground. Not a bad ground, is it? Look how far away the pitch is from the crowd. That's mad. That is mad. Blimmin' hell. Wonder what the attendance is on that as well. And then we've got all the games for tonight as well. So, yeah, there we go, guys. There we go. We're going to also do a quick player rating. So, player rating. What was it? Player ratings. Player FIFA lineup. You know, the team lineup, the proposed team lineup. And then we're going to open up the lines and get you guys involved. Big up to Alfred in the house as well. Nice to see you. I've said this after the draw. Zagreb away could be a shock. And again, 3rd game in a row where I will be surprised if we score more than 2 goals. Fair enough. We're not in the most greatest of forms as well. But yeah, guys, we're going to get into that team lineup. Now, I think Chelsea again could line up in two ways. I've got a feeling tonight that we might see four at the back. And I don't think people are going to think that. I think people think we're free. So I think we're going to. I think this is what I think Thomas Tuchel's going to do. We could play. You know what? I don't think Kepa's going. Mendy's going to play tonight. I think Kepa's going to play tonight. Now, do I? Who we got on the weekend? Got Fulham, haven't we? I don't know if Kepa's going to play. Actually, I'll ask you in the chat. Kepa or Mendy? And this question falls on: do you think Tuchel's going to start? Who do you think Tuchel will start in this game tonight? Kepa or Mendy? Let's see what you guys have got to say. Come on, guys, get these likes up. Come on, we should be over 100 likes. Over 200 people on GNA TV as well. Over 300 people on Chelsea Fan TV as well. Let's get these likes up, guys. Please smash the like buttons. Kepa is to start. Kepa has. I'm asking you what Tuchel's going to do, not has to. This is not based on what you want. Yeah, this is what you think Tuchel's going to do. Kepa. Big up to Tubbs. Nice to see you, bro. Kepa. All right. He's just saying Kepa. We'll go Kepa then. I just do not be surprised if Mendy starts tonight. That's what I'm going to say. So I think it could be a 4-2-2 formation tonight. I know people don't want to see it, but I think we might see Ben Chilwell get played tonight. I think he will start. I think Reece James will play. I'm going to quickly show you what I think is going to happen. I think Koulibaly will play. And I think Fofana might play. Obviously, we know Silva's not available. But I think it might be something like that as a back five in a back four. And then I think Kovacic will play. I think Jorginho is going to play. I don't think Zakaria starts. I think Zakaria comes on later with Aubameyang. I think Zakaria and Aubameyang will come later on. And then I think Sterling will play off the left. No, do you know what? I think Mount will play. I think Sterling will play. And I think Havertz will play. And I think Burrow will play. I think we might do something like that. I think he might play a 4 tonight. Only just to test, like, again, Dinamo Zagreb, not putting disrespect to him. He could play the 3, and I think it could happen. We'll do a 3 system after, yeah? But I've got a feeling that the 4 might happen tonight. We need to be attacking. They aren't great at defending. They will push tons of bodies forward, and the attack with box with 4s and 5s is what Couch is saying. 4-4-2 or 4-2-2. Bro won't start the Champions League. We need to get the points. Why won't Bro start? I know we need to get points, but why would you not start Bro? What has that got to do with points, Couch? I don't get that. What, you don't think Bro can get us points? I think we could see it. I think you saw it in the second half against West Ham where he started Havertz and Bro. I think you might be looking at it and going, well, you know, I've got to try it. I've not tried it. You know, Pulisic over Mount. That's what we've got here. No experience. That's not that. But it's Dinamo Zagreb, bro. We're not playing Real Madrid. We're not playing Barcelona. I'd get it if you said that. We're playing Dinamo Zagreb away. You know, I think he could be effective. And Havertz, I think, will start tonight after his goal. I think Tuchel will look at it and go, hang on, he's got a goal now. Let's try and work on that. Let's try and get him another goal tonight. Build him up for the Fulham game on the weekend. That's what I think we're going to do. Now, if we don't... Yeah, but exactly. It's the first leg. It's only the first leg. We lost the first leg last time round. I'm not saying we're going to lose tonight. Just saying we lost to Juventus and we still qualified. You know, it's not like halfway through or in and we're struggling to get points and we really need... Like, it's a good chance to give him a chance. You know, Boogeyman's saying Mount behind Kai and Brower as well. Over 500 of you guys here. Over 500 of you guys here. Now, look, I think he's going to play 4 at the back. But if he doesn't play 4 at the back, I think you'll see this. I think you'll see this. If he doesn't play forward at the back, Couch, I don't think Burrow plays. And then I think you'll see maybe Chalobah or Aspilicueta in there. I think maybe Chalobah. I think that will be like that. I think Mount will play. I think Sterling will play. And I think Havertz will play. So if we do a 3-4-3, I think that's how we line up. But I think we'll probably go for the 4-2-2. But if he sticks to the 3 system, it could be that. It could be that. That makes more sense. Or whatever. Like however he wants to play it, you know. I think Fofana will be the centre of the 3. You know? I forgot about Ruben as well, actually. You could play Ruben, couldn't you? You could do that and then play. But then I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. If James is fit, I'd rather just do that. I think Chalobah should play, mate. I think in these 3 systems, I would play Chalobah over Aspilicueta at the moment. I would. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. Yeah, Zakaria and Aubameyang, I think will come on in the second half. I don't think they start games. But if Zakaria does start, let's just say Zakaria does start. I think Zakaria comes in here. He plays there. I think Jorginho gets benched. I think Kovacic and Zakaria around midfield. And I think Zakaria will be the one that sits if he starts. And if we decide to start Aubameyang, then I think he'll drop Havertz. And I think he'll just play Aubameyang. You know, and that's if he starts them. But I don't think he starts them. Could do. Could be wrong. But you could have Aubameyang, Zakaria, Mount, Sterling as your leading line. I don't think they start, mate. I really don't. You know, and if we switch it to a 4-2-2 with them on the pitch, I think it will be something like this. Them at the back, them, Mount. I think Sterling will get dropped. I think Sterling will go there. I think Havertz will go up there. He might use Sterling and Aubameyang up there. I think Havertz might play with Aubameyang with Sterling off the left or right or whatever. Or you play Sterling with Aubameyang and you don't play Havertz and you play Pulisic in his natural position. You know, Havertz, Mount, Aubameyang, Sterling. Sorry, Pulisic, Mount. Aubameyang. See, like there's so many options now. Like Aubameyang gives you options. Zakaria as well because he can play in this position. He can play in the 3. He can play in the 4. We have so many players between Aubameyang, Zakaria, Fofana, Koulibaly. All 4 of these players, they allow us to switch from 4s to 3s comfortably, providing they're fit and they're available, and it gives us options. You know, it gives us big options. But I want to hear what you guys have got to say in the chat as well. I have put the link in. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. I want you guys to get involved with me. So come and have your say. Make sure we've got over 100 likes on both, though, please. We've got over 114 there. 96. Come on, GNA TV. If you haven't hit the thumb, guys, come on. Let's get this over 100 likes now. We've all hit with a button. Chelsea are going to win tonight. Hit the button. Chelsea are going to win tonight. Smash that button now. Let's get this over 100 likes, people. So Couch is saying, where's it? What's he saying? I'll just see saying here. I watched them too. They are aggressive in the attack. So you think they're going to come out at us, Couch? Couch, if you're a free, come in. Come in. Oh, you've come in. So Couch, I want to talk to you actually before you talk about Chelsea. You seem to say that you've watched these guys before as well. So what is it specifically that you feel that they're going to set up? How are they going to set up tonight against Chelsea? Like, how do you think they're going to play the game?
Who, me?
Who else?
Dinamo.
Oh, yo, what's up, fellas?
Yeah,
I think they're going to attack. That's the last 2 years I've been watching them in the Champions League against the Spurs, West Ham. Who else do they play? I think they played Man United at some point too. They attack, man. They're going to push numbers forward without question. Whenever they get on the break, you're seeing 4s and 5s all the time. So I think that they play into our hands because they are so aggressive. And if they give us space, I think first of all, I think Jorginho's going to start. They rested him on the weekend for
Yeah.
whatever reason. I think he definitely starts and controls the game for us. And if we get out on the break, if they make the game, destabilize the midfield and make it a more open game, that benefits us because we have better finishers. As much as
If
I
they're,
hate to,
can I ask you a quick question? If they're good on the attack, I haven't watched them, but if they're quick and they're good on the attack, and it sounds like they've got some tricky players from what I read earlier on them as well, would it not be better to have quicker players in midfield? Like Zakaria is meant to be that. Like, would it be good
yeah,
to just risk and start Zakaria just for that? Like that,
I feel you. I just
yeah,
don't think that, like, if we have control of the ball 60-70% of the time, they're not going to get a lot of chances to get out on the break. And I don't feel like they defend well enough to cope with what we can do in the midfield.
yeah,
So we'll have to see. Again, like, I really do think they're going to be an attacking team, though. And just on the Broa thing, it's not that I don't think that he's capable. I just don't think that you start him in the first leg of the Champions League, his first start ever. Like, we still need to get the points, right? We do, and we can't be taking any risks there. That's all I'm saying. As much as I'd like to see him play, I don't think that
yeah.
that's the game to risk him in. Like, you
I
play him
hear
in
that.
game 4, you start him in game 4, game 5, maybe, around there.
What do you think Tuchel will do in terms of system today? Do you think he'll go with the 3? Can you get what I say when I say it might be a 4 tonight? Like, what do you think?
I actually think it might be a 4 because
Yeah,
Thiago Silva in the middle. Have we seen anyone else play there yet?
no, is the answer to
Yeah,
that. So
that's important to me because he's the central to that defense right now. He hasn't played. Nobody else has played there, so it's going to be hard for me to envision somebody else taking up that role. Like, I mean, we could all ideally see Koulibaly there, but
yeah,
he's a little shaky right now, man. He's a little shaky right now. I'm not gonna lie. So I think a 4 would make the most sense at this point in time.
I think him and Fofana in a 4 at the back is perfect for me. I think they'll be fine between the two of them. Fofana has the pace, Kuba has the pace. I think they're good enough to do a job together without Thiago Silva in the team. I mean, CFCOG, what you saying, mate?
yeah, we say, man, everyone's good. I think Fofana's more than fast, like, man. Even if something like a mistake happens at the back with Fofana there, hopefully he starts there. He'll make up for it, man. He'll make up for any mistakes, like. So I think we should try Koulibaly central because if he can't do it against this team, we'll never do it in the Premier League. I don't want it one day, Thiago Silva's injured and we're playing him in the center of the 3. That will disturb me. I'd rather try it now.
What would be your back 3 then with Koulibaly in the middle then?
You just turn it up there. You just flick it around there. Yeah, right. Koulibaly right there. Fofana on the left. James there on the right. Boy, James does scare me being central though.
But you don't want to see James further up the pitch where he's good at?
Yeah, I do. But then who would we put on the right back there?
So unless you put Ruben Loftus-Cheek there, like that's your option. Unless you do like a Ruben.
Yeah, he is versatile, but he's not a master of that position. Oh, no way they gave him 75. That's a mortgage. I thought Broja was bad.
Yeah, and then I mean Zakaria, do you think he starts or Kovacic, or do you think Jorginho and Kovacic will play?
I think it's gonna be Jorginho and cover because I think Tuchel knows it's an easier game, and if they do well, if one score a goal or scores a penalty as he usually does, that will give them a bit of confidence, momentum, mentality boost, all of that. So maybe, and Kovacic is a hometown hero here, right? So
yeah,
gotta play him, like, and Pulisic as well as from Croatia. He speaks Croatian apparently.
Is he?
Yeah, his grandparents and all that, from Croatia and all that. Even his name, it's an itch. If you're an itch, you're from Croatia, more or less. Modric, Kovacic, isn't it?
True.
Me a titch,
By the stands of it, people thought this won't be a walk in the park. This won't be a 3 or 4. I know we're not in great form anyway to be scoring that many goals, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. Zach, how you doing, mate?
Hi, mate. I'd probably agree with what CFCOG says. I'd probably line up this way. I know Loftus-Cheek's a bit dodgy at that wing-back role, but I quite like it when they manage to sort of swap him around and eventually Reece James gets up the pitch as we build up slowly. Yeah. But maybe put Cucurella in for Chilwell. I don't know. I think Tuchel might be trying to manage Chilwell's minutes a little bit, where he was, really good last game, but we don't want to have the same situation where he's playing 50 games a season. But yeah, I'll be excited. I don't really know too much about Dinamo Zagreb, to be honest, but I think this lineup looks good.
Do you not feel that the 4 may come into play tonight, or do you feel that he will stick to a 3?
it'd be interesting because I see a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people are frustrated with the way Chelsea are, and so they just want something to change, and then they want it to automatically be a 4. But we're not necessarily good enough for a 4. A lot of these players, and it's not Tuchel's system. You know, you wouldn't if Pep Guardiola started playing games well, they wouldn't start asking him to just hoof the ball anywhere. You know, a manager's not going to change his whole philosophy. But it'd be interesting. I think maybe if Zakaria does well, then and he looks like a solid player, maybe we can eventually switch to a 4 with like 2 holdings and 1 playing as more of a 10. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I've always said that I don't think we have the players to play the 4 in the past. I think where we find ourselves now is that we're sort of in the unknown because we don't know what Zakaria or how Zakaria is going to be utilised. Does he get utilised as more of the sitter of this pivot, and Kovacic can now be a bit more, sort of going forward, doing more rather than worrying what's behind him. With Jorginho there, you feel that Kovacic is sometimes just limits himself in his own ability, in his own game to be able to just do things that he probably wants to do more naturally. So I think Zakaria is an interesting one. Does he allow us to play the 4 more comfortably? He looks big from what I've seen of him in training. Big boy, quick, aggressive. He looks like built for someone that can just play in that midfield and hold his own.
Looks like a UFC fighter, bro.
Is he originally Swiss? Like, is he? Does anyone know where he's originally from?
Is anyone originally Swiss?
You mean is he actually? Where from Africa is he from?
Yeah, I feel like he's African. I feel like he's African, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
like, he's got them genetics. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But with Zakaria, I'm quite excited because in my opinion, it's a win-win situation, or maybe not win-win because if he's really bad and we can't use him, then we paid a loan fee for nothing. But at the end of the day, like we're Chelsea, you know how much money we've got. If we get him, and then what was the price they were talking about for the buy option? Was it 30. Like 30 million?
So it's around sort of 20. I think from what I've read, I've heard
30
30.
million
I'm hearing
euros,
it's 25, 29 million euros now. So I don't know.
There you go.
Just quickly, he's Sudanese and Congolese. His parents are Sudanese and Congolese.
That's a serious mix.
Just wondering, Jem, can I just quickly scrutinize his back line here? Just quickly. Because Fofana on the left, have we ever seen him there?
No.
I think you're just going to see him on the, ever. I don't think
he just goes like that, Couch. I think it goes like that personally. I don't think Koulibaly goes there. I think Koulibaly stays there.
That's a lot of trust of Fofana.
Yeah, but I feel like he's too young. I don't know why, but like that's like a captain's position.
You know that he is a centre back though, like naturally.
Oh, definitely.
And he's played in the back
saying
four,
the middle's
right?
different though, right? The middle's a little bit different.
Yeah, but he has the ability to play in that middle because not only is he quick, he's progressive with the ball, he's comfortable with the ball. What I saw of him on the week, he looked quite comfortable.
Where we put Fofana determines how serious we are. If we put Fofana in the middle, we don't respect Zagreb. I'm just going to say it like that.
Hey, come on, why, bro?
No. People think this is like a shot at Fofana. I don't think people remember. Fofana's 21. Like,
why?
So if we start Fofana in the middle of the center back position and he makes a mistake tonight, what's our fan base gonna do to him? Like, come on, man. I'm trying to protect our players. I don't got time for that.
No, they send shots regardless.
The fan base say.
But the same question could be asked: what if you play him on the left and he makes a mistake because he's not naturally playing there?
Yeah, that's why I say you play him on his position, right?
Hey, but
Play him on the right.
I don't get it. Who cares if he makes a mistake? Yeah, like
you don't care, bro.
Whoa. I don't care if we make. Listen, we could draw tonight, and I wouldn't give a shit. But our fan base would give a shit.
Our fan base, we could win, and our fan base will still complain. You guys know that,
Facts.
right? So if a 21-year-old makes a mistake, right, which what we expect from young players, they're going to learn and get better. But our fan base is still going to lose their minds. So what does it matter?
Look, if I don't count the fan base, we start Fofana down the middle so he can get some experience and start beginning his potential. But like, you know what I mean?
I think Fofana will play in the same spot. If I could come in here, I actually think Cucurella will play on the left and Chilwell to the left. There's a combination we probably need down the line. reward Chilwell for his good performance.
I like the way you're thinking.
Wait, say that again.
Cucurella left center back.
I didn't hear that. Say that again.
So I think Koulibaly plays in the middle, Fofana on the right, James on right wing back, and Cucurella left wing back.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't think because I think that's why Cucurella was brought in. I think this combination probably they want to see it done in future games. So Mozart started this game.
Do you want to see? Do you want to see Cucurella and Chilwell consistently playing games on the same on the same pitch? Like, do you not want to have one for the other? Obviously, because of injuries and obviously playing too much. We're going to be 2 games a week all the way to November, guys. Just remember that.
Yeah, so I think it's not actually like something they want to start with, but I think with possible injuries and rotation, I think this combination has to be, has to work, or they wanted to see it. I think that was the intention as well for paying so much, because the left wing back position has so much money thrown at it. So I think Cucurella to do the left wing back.
It goes back to what I've been saying all window. We have players that allow us to adapt. They're versatile. All the players that we brought in are versatile players that allow us to switch these hybrid formations that Tuchel plays. Whether it's a 4, whether it's a 3. These players give us that now. So if we do miss players because of injury in certain areas, you can do this right now and get away with it. We couldn't do that last season. And that's why we suffered massively, tremendously, because we didn't have the squad depth. Yeah, I still don't think we have the squad depth. I just think we have more versatile players, if that makes sense, than what we had last year, So
we had an illusion of a squad depth because we thought we had squad depth, and it kind of showed itself when we really needed it. But I think this game.
Do you think Aubameyang starts? Do you think he starts or not? No. Okay.
No, I think he gets a run though, but I don't think he starts.
Who starts?
I'm hoping Broja starts, but I get a feeling it'll be Havertz.
Havertz in that line again. Okay.
Yeah,
I actually want to see Broja and Havertz together personally. I keep saying it. I
actually want to see that because
45.
We saw that when we saw Broja Havertz, and I think Havertz felt way more better in that role to play the side, coming in late, and we all of a sudden had height. We had some presence, and then Sterling dropped a bit deeper and was happy to lob in some balls. We're always getting crosses in, and we don't have much people on it. But like I said too, I think Sterling might get a rest.
That makes me shake my head, mate. That makes me shake my head every time I read that. That makes me shake my head in disappointment. Really does. Sorry.
Can I just say, I'd probably rather.
Ziyech is one of those players that we couldn't sell, I guess.
I'd probably rather put Pulisic on the left, rest Sterling for a game, and then maybe have Ziyech on the right, just to get him some game time.
Yeah.
I would rather have, like what you guys were saying, put Havertz on the right, and then Broja in the middle.
Or at least I think that's what he'll start. But Ziyech needs to go. Like, I like him, but he's not. His head's not at Chelsea. I think he's a good player, but he's not.
He should be starting games.
But he's here till
listen. His head got to be at Chelsea now because it doesn't fucking matter.
December.
Listen. There's a few things that's on Tuchel. Like Tuchel has to get Ziyech and Pulisic back in the ball game. On top of that, he has to make these players work. Like, there are no more excuses anymore. We know about the midfield. So if I watch today's game and our midfield gets ran through, which makes our defense come under more pressure and we concede goals, I'm looking at Tuchel because you know what's up. So I'm praying on Zakaria. Like, I think Zakaria is the key. If Zakaria ends up being good, mark my words today, Chelsea will have an amazing season. Because
what's everyone's opinion on us losing Billy Gilmour?
It hurts.
I
think for the price he went for.
No comment.
I don't think people will have an issue of him going. It's the price tag. It's the price tag that they went for.
I told Jem, when they say undisclosed fees, bro, that means they're going under 10 mil. When I saw that shit, 9 to Brighton, who charged us how much? Oh,
I thought it was a
mistype. We're not serious.
And I was like, nah, there's a mistype.
We gave Brighton the money 60 for Cuckoo, bro. They have the money to pay more.
Look, I'm not saying they had to give us 25, but at least
I'm getting it alone.
Yeah, I think it's a bad move. And when I first saw it, I thought they missed the one. I thought it was a mistype. I thought
exactly.
I thought they missed the 3.
9 million. We're buying Kante and that for 15 million. We're selling Billy Gilmour for 9. Make it make sense, Chelsea. Like what we're doing here.
Gordon cost 60.
Maybe there's more context, Jim. I just want with the Billy Gilmour. I think no one actually wanted him for loan. I think it was hard to get rid of him, and he wanted to leave.
He's not bad. He's not a bad player. No one wanted him.
No, but the thing is,
I think the player wanted to leave.
They could have easily slapped the add-ons one. They could have easily slapped the add-ons on him, but for
not even add-ons. It's just
guys. I want
that's why it's a bad deal.
I want to just quickly go to AJ. Let's let AJ talk in it because he's not spoke yet. What are you saying, AJ?
No, I mean, just on Gilmour, Tuchel definitely doesn't rate him. That's why he had to make a decision at this point for his own career. So, I mean, he made that move. His fee is less than Cucurella's add-on, which is crazy, but
madness,
right? But I mean, that's what it is. But, just on the team, I want to see. I think tonight I either want to see Koulibaly played in the center back, or I want to see a back two of Koulibaly and Fofana. I think those are the two things that Tuchel needs to find out, if it works or not. So I think that's really I think that's going to happen tonight. I mean, you're not going to get too many chances to experiment. So it's really tonight. That's it. So
do you start Zakaria tonight? Do you think he should come in for Jorginho or?
I don't know. That's a big one because I'm personally not a fan of putting players like straight into pressure. He should come on like into a game, or same with Aubameyang. And I learned that from when we bought Fernando Torres and we started him against Liverpool the next day. From that day, it messed him up and he was never the same. But so I don't think he starts. I think maybe Jorginho starts. I mean, Kovacic, he is coming back from an injury, so I don't know. He's played a couple games. I don't know. Did he start the last game? I think he started.
He did, but I think it was start only purely because this is his hometown that he's going to, and he was at the press conference yesterday as well. That's the only reason I'd say Kovacic starts. The real big question is: does Ruben Loftus-Cheek play tonight? Does he play off the right? Does he play in the middle?
Game. He's played every game, so I mean, he could take a little bench seat for tonight. I mean, I want to see Chilwell get a start. Cucurella and Sterling could get a break. They've played every game, Let's just rotate the team, but keep it strong, and you still got to learn, though. Tuchel needs to learn because, the squad is just getting settled now. So
I just feel Broa can just play. Like, if we play the 4, I just think Broa could just be in there tonight, and just give him a chance. I mean, with Havertz, just try it with Pulisic and whoever. Ziyech, Mount. I think Mount personally will play still. I think he will. It's Mount. He'll play. Whether it's like that or like that, I think you could have something in and around that looking as well. But I don't know. It's the great thing is we've got so many options, right? We just don't know. Again, it's so unpredictable because we've got players fit, barring obviously Kante, Silva not being there. But it's options. It's will he start for? Will it be a free, or will he just do what he has done, like he did against Spurs, which is play players that are going to now have to adapt to systems in between games? So you start with a 4 or a 3, but then you just switch to a 4 in between games, or you go into a 3 in between games, which we could see, So it's I don't know. We'll have to see.
John.
Yeah, go on, Kelly.
I was gonna say the thing about it though is we need to see that transition into what the team is supposed to be. By itself, like isolate the pitch into 3 sections. We've seen what our midfield looks at its best. We have seen what our attack looks like at its best. It's just not often, and we definitely know that defense is our strongest part of the pitch. If we can get this Zakaria fella to actually plug in the hole that Jorginho keeps opening, and Kante is just injured all the time, then I think that opens up our attack. Because people keep thinking Tuchel doesn't have the mind to make these tactical switches. Come on, guys. Let's stop bantering. We know Tuchel actually is brilliant with his tactics. So I think if he feels safe in the midfield, he will start tactically pushing more bodies forward, as we saw against Real Madrid when we had no choice. So that's what I want to see. I want to see what does Tuchel really want his team to look like together overall as a whole? Not just isolate the defense or do a patch job on the midfield to hold together. I want to see what the team looks like together. Like, I want to see a team. That's what I'm trying to say.
Kelly, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. I'm going to jump in after you declare.
Okay, yeah. I want to ask, do you think you're putting a heavy reliance on Zakaria, especially a
You're
player
stealing
that
my
we
thunder.
didn't...
No. I was hoping
I've been asking
that.
this. Sorry, Kelly. I've been asking this for days. Yeah, I've been going.
No. Listen.
Yeah, like
conversation.
I wanted to also add that that it's a player that we didn't go after till the end, and it's not feeling like a person that's going to fix our problems, but more a person to give us depth, and maybe a different characteristic is a player that you throw on and sure a win when we're winning to just turn it up. I mean, he could be injured. There's an injury-prone question there. He could be really bad. He could be really good. But to put that heavy reliance on you, what you just said, you're not the only person to say it, right?
No,
a lot of people
know.
thinking that it's going to solve our midfield problem, and I'm thinking maybe
wait.
Maybe you're banking
Here's
on
the
too
answer
much.
to that.
Yeah.
One of two things. If he is not the answer, then I must blame Tuchel. I don't want to blame Tuchel. So I'm going to believe he's the answer. I know realistically he's not the answer. I know he's a stopgap. But if he can do a stopgap job, that still opens our team up. That still makes us way better than we have been recently. So for me, no, I don't expect Zakaria to come in like how I would have expected Alvarez to come in or how I would expect another prime CDM. Like if Casemiro came into our team, this is a different conversation. But what I'm trying to say is we don't have a choice. This was Tuchel's choice. I've never seen a manager at Chelsea other than Mourinho's season and the first season when he went up to Aberrant, he's like, listen, you're going to buy this, and that's all I want you to do. But there's no defense. You know what I mean? Like if Tuchel fucks this up, I'm not going to blame Zakaria. I'm going to blame Tuchel for not getting a fucking midfielder.
Kelly, this is the thing that I want to say quickly on Zakaria, right? This is the way I see it. He's talking about pressure. He's already accepted the pressure by coming to Chelsea. The fact that he's decided to come to this football club on loan, he hasn't come in. It could be a Sal 2.0 where he comes, it doesn't work. He doesn't get many games, and when he does start, he's not very good, and then he just disappears. And again, it's a low risk. It's a low risk situation anyway because we can just send him back. But the fact that he's came here, we already knew we've already seen what type of player he can be at Mönchengladbach. He hasn't been able to be that at Juventus because, from what I've been told by Juventus fans, he's been misprofiled. He's been used not in the correct manner there in many ways. And when you look at the players at Juventus that have left and gone on, like Kulusevski, for example, you can't really use Juventus as the barometer, is what I'm saying, in terms of the ability of the player. Now, he has the opportunity to come to Chelsea, right, and get himself,
and change the story,
elevate himself back to what he was before, providing Tuchel utilises him in the correct manner. And if it does do that, then we've gone and bought ourselves a player for 29 million euros, which doesn't completely solve the midfield area, but it adds quality and adds depth to the system. That makes it work. And we are going to still buy more midfielders in the summer because we're going to get Rice. We want, obviously, Edson, Alvarez. They're different in terms of the way that they play the game and how they sit. But with Zakaria, he can provide that stopgap in a pivot system where he is the sitter, I feel, because of the way he's built. But it's this whole thing of pressure. Him is we putting it on him, this and the other. I think he already knows that he needs to come in and perform because if he doesn't, he's just going to go and and he's going to disappear. And this player wants to be noticed. And how do you get noticed? Come to the Premier League. Come to the Premier League and play the best league.
Can I just say this real quick about this Zakaria thing, and I'll leave it alone after that. But I really think that he's not coming in to replace Jorginho. I'm sorry, we don't have a replacement for Jorginho on the side. He's coming in to be a backup to Kante. His actual playing style is a little bit more like Kante than it is Jorginho. He's not a guy that's going to be used the ball 80, 90 times a game, whatever, when we're in possession.
That was the thing I was going to say. If he plays more like a destroyer.
Yeah, let me finish this one point. I think the way we're going to, and to be honest with you, I still think that he's going to be fourth in the pecking order too. He's probably our fourth choice midfielder when you look at Kovacic, Kante, and Jorginho. He's fourth after that. So for me, we basically win the game, finish the game. He comes in to do the cleanup job, where you don't want Jorginho in that role. When you're protecting a lead or something like that. So for me, he's not going to come in and revolutionize this.
What if he plays the role better than Jorginho?
Yeah. So,
fuck all of that. I think you're looking at it backwards.
Sorry. Say again.
I was saying, what if he comes in and plays the role better than Jorginho? How does he go from them being fourth option to, for me, then he becomes the option. He has to play.
So do you honestly think that he's going to be used in that role though, as a Jorginho, like the guy that's
I don't think he's being brought in to be a box to box saver.
A regista. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think you could see him do that, but I think he's going to be, if it's him and Kovacic, I think you're going to see that he's the guy that's going to be more of the sitter. And I'm not saying like a.
To be honest,
honestly, Loftus-Cheek might start in front of him in that position.
You trust
you
him
guys
to
are
be
crazy.
You guys are.
Listen, it's fair enough that you guys are saying this because we've never seen Zakaria pass for Chelsea. Yes or yes?
Exactly.
Because if Zakaria can pass, Zakaria benches Jorginho so fast it's just not a conversation.
No, he doesn't.
Look, Kelly, it could happen, right? But the way it's going to come about, and he's going to get a rare chance, and then he has to show consistency. It's going to be some like luck of chance that he does, and then if he balls out, he gets a starting position. And if he can do Jorginho as well, he does well. But this is going to be very experimental till you get there. Listen. People are making out like he's this massive money problem signing that we went for straight away. We wanted. You know what as well? I can't even blame Tuchel because all the money we've thrown at is replacing the players we got, right? We were stacked in the midfield. Whether you think they're not good enough or not, we were still stacked.
We are stacked player-wise, yeah.
Yeah, but those players could be missing. They probably thought about addressing it next season, right? And throw money at it, unless to Frankie de Jong or something happened like that. That's a player that you can talk about in the same manner you're talking about that can change our midfield. And that's going to take another probably transfer window for us to
throw guys, that's what I'm saying. I'm not
to get that effect that you want.
I'm not asking Zakaria to change the midfield. I think we need to have an honest conversation. And this is the honest conversation. Kante and Kovacic, even though people don't like them as a pivot, are my starting midfielders. I say this time and time again. When we actually have it done correctly, where Kante and Kova press at different points, our midfield looks completely different. We go through the middle, we go through the wings, we actually play with the fucking midfield. Now, this goes to how you view Jorginho, right? For me, Jorginho is third in that pecking order, in my humble opinion. In Tuchel's land, I'm pretty sure Jorginho's second. But in my land, Jorginho's third, brother. Now, if we look at Jorginho, right? Are we going to be honest and say Jorginho lately has been getting split like a stripper? You know my quote. Split like a stripper, man. I'm tired of it. Let's be honest. If I take Kovacic or Kante and I put them next to Zakaria, you honestly, people, fuck the loan, fuck what he cost, everything. Do you think at that build, that size, his profile, the ability they say he can pass, you don't think in a pivot he will replace Jorginho?
No.
I think he does. But it depends. It depends on
my case.
Listen. Because I just say it depends. I'm not when I talk about Zakaria, I'm not talking about him coming in and completely changing Tuchel's ideas and systems. I'm talking about him coming in and actually enhancing the systems we already have in place, and that means that playing it to a better level than what maybe we're already seeing with Jorginho. I'm not saying it's going to happen because I haven't seen enough of Zakaria, but I'm saying it's definitely an option that he should look at, and if he does perform consistently well in that area and he's utilized in a certain specific way where we are benefiting from it, and he is covering the fullbacks and he's covering that gaping hole that we have in midfield, which we can't seem to recover because J5 hasn't got the speed to do it, which I think he will do because he has got that frame and speed to do so. Then when we benefit from it, but it's about him understanding the role, and that's what we're going to wait and see. Is he going to understand the role well enough in the Tuchel system?
I just think these are broad strokes right now. Like,
It is, because we don't know.
You're asking.
No,
you're asking
it is. Listen. Like, I'm not saying like this is the magical plan.
Just know where that function ends. That's all I'm saying. Just know where that function ends. These are broad strokes that we're using right now to describe this midfield, describe how he's going to be used. Right? Sure. Yeah. If he comes in and balls out, if he shows that he can actually use the ball 60, 70 times a game and build attacks from deep, and not get caught in possession and whatnot, then yeah, maybe he can replace Jorginho. But I've never seen him do that before. I've never seen him used like that before. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. He's not that type of midfielder.
Well, he's not going to.
No. But you're saying he's not that type of midfielder when factually for Juventus he performed worse because he was out of position or style. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe we have it twisted. Maybe Zakaria can do that.
Even for the national
team. At Gladbach, that's fair. At Gladbach, I hear you. Gladbach, that's fair. That's facts too.
But you know what the problem is, though? He does lack a bit of a defensive awareness and a little bit of positioning, but Zakaria is actually decent-ish. It just depends on not if we can bring him back to the Mönchengladbach form.
Exactly.
But you're not wrong. Listen, I don't expect Zakaria, even if Zakaria has a worldie today, that doesn't mean consistency to me. I don't expect him to go into the team.
Bro,
Drinkwater had a worldie in the Prem. How fucking fooled I was. I was like, oh, Drinkwater, he looks like he's going to be a good player, that.
What I'm saying is, he's not built in the same structure as who we bought in last season in São Negres, right? He's not that sort of profile of player in terms of the way he looks.
No way he could be as bad as Savić, respectfully.
So my thing is that, when you look at us running around at the end of the window looking for a DM, which is what we did at lastminute.com, and then looking at Zakaria to bring him in, I don't think we've just specifically looked to bring him in just to be another Kovacic or Kante, where you find him high up the pitch trying to win balls and this, that, and the other. I think we're actually what we're saying is try and find a stopgap. And if it's not a stopgap, at least maybe a solution to making the system better.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
What are you saying, AJ?
Let me just jump in that. Zakaria is not here to do what Jorginho does. They play in similar areas of the field, but his way of play will probably be more effective for what we want to do, because really the transitions and just the forward passing in general, and then mopping up anything in front of the defense. That's really our issue, is getting the ball forward. Jorginho is great at keeping the ball, but it's mostly sideways and backwards. And it slows up everything, and there's a time for that, but
I don't even think that's Jorginho's fault too. It's just how he is as a player. He's a better passer than Zakaria. I'll give him that. I know he's a better passer than Zakaria.
So I think Zakaria gives us just more flexibility, more dynamism. I think you'll see the team just function a little bit better now. I don't think it might not happen today or next week or the next month, but I think as time goes throughout the season, you'll see that what he's bringing to the team, it might be a few small things, but it just helps the team function better. Sterling will get the ball earlier. Just the people who need the ball.
Breaking up the play, that might happen a lot more easier, more quicker. That might allow us to press more because we've got a midfield or a player along next to another player that can actually press higher, and which means that the forwards are more confident at winning the ball back quicker, and the defense feels better because someone in midfield can actually cover with speed and help them in that gap. It just, these are all things that are ifs and buts because we don't know, do we? He could be absolutely shit.
And you know what? It also allows Mount and Gallagher to be more considered options for the 8 positions, as on a consistent basis, because it just offers that protection. Or you can see Zakaria next to Kante. Somebody said that in the comments as well. It just offers.
That would be mad. Think about it. I forgot about that. Dennis and Kante. That'll help Thiago Silva a lot as well.
Beautiful.
That's what I'm trying to.
In specific matches. That would be beautiful.
Of course.
You brought some big points to this, man. I think that's a good look.
There you go.
I think that we identified a profile of player that is different to Jorginho that we need. A profile of player. I just don't know if he actually is the player. That's all I'm saying. I don't think that he
I honestly don't think he is, but I don't think he needs to be. And that's the point I'm trying to say. I think people really have been giving Jorginho a lot of slack when the truth is in the pudding, bro. Like, Jorginho has been slow in transition, whether it's attacking or defending. And that is the reason why we look so disjointed in the middle. Now, I'm not saying he's the only midfielder. Gallagher does it a lot. Fucking, if we put Ruben Loftus-Cheek in there, it's not good enough. But what I'm trying to say is Jorginho, if Jorginho had speed, I swear Jorginho starts every week. And that's what sucks. It really kills me inside because his passing IQ, his awareness of the game is A1. His issue is he does not have the speed to do what that big boy brain is telling him to do. So if you ever notice Jorginho, I think Jorginho could pass through the middle. I think he could pick out the spots. I honestly think he could take the risk, but I think he's being instructed not to, because if he makes the wrong pass, we get hit on the counter and it's a quick goal. So I just want to see.
I don't think Zakaria came in to be the player that is, like when we're saying we're looking for that player that solves everything, is what I'm feeling right now. It's like, what is that player that we need in midfield that solves everything? And some people feel that it's someone that's more like the DM sort of profile that can sit and whatever. I don't think specifically that comes from just one player. And this is why I keep saying to people, I think we need at least two midfielders in that.
Oh, yeah.
Still. I don't think one's just enough when it comes to it, but a specific profile player, correct, but not just one. That makes sense. Like, I don't know.
It makes total sense.
My dream, bro, Frankie de Jong and Rice. I would have lost my mind.
You better keep dreaming, bro.
But Kevin, that makes a good point because on the minimum for that position, we need someone that can distribute the ball, and Jorginho is probably one of the best in just that in passing. So in a minimum, we want someone that can do the same but more. And how many players out there can do that, or even near the level? Do you know what I mean? There's not that many players. So you're talking about them finding a profile player that they can actually buy, because not every player is gettable like that.
Suits the system,
to make sure he is that player. And it might need more than one player, because the way it's going, I mean, Jorginho could be out on a free transfer. He might not sign. We might be in that situation already next season, maybe January. So that when you think about it, you like you said, Frankie de Jong. I want a Frankie de Jong bad, but when you think about other possible players, there's not that many that can fit the best.
I agree. I want to hear from Marina. Still got his blimmin' Marina loving picture up. How you saying? What's happening?
Thank you for having me. Can you hear me clearly, Jim?
I can hear you, mate. I can hear you. How you doing?
So everybody on the panel as well. I mean, this is great. I mean, each one of you had a great talking points, to be honest. I didn't really know much about Zakaria till he came here, and I started doing a little bit of research or looking at him and his player profile. It all stems, I mean, people say he's here to help Kante because Kante is hurt. I mean, if that's the case, don't rush Kante back. I'd rather him sit out until after the World Cup and then bring it back fresh and have him go. But in regards to Jorginho, I mean, look, this is a problem that we're going to have. Either we let him go in January, which I highly doubt, or we let him go for free. Are we going to keep him, or are we going to let him go? If he's not happy, let him go. If he wants to stay, then offer him something that's reasonable. I mean, because at the end of the day, I'm not a big fan of Jorginho. I never was a fan of the Pizza Boy. His play is too slow for us. It hinders us in the attack. It hinders us in the build-up as well. So, I mean, I just don't know exactly what I see. How beneficial is he in our team, especially if we're trying to push the ball forward and trying to build up and attack the ball and attack other teams. I think he doesn't do much in that. And also, he doesn't do much in the defensive aspect as well. I feel like since N'Golo Kante, you always see if they play together, Kante is always a little dinged up after matches because I think Jorginho is the liability and Kante has to be 3-person instead of 2.
That's a decent point. I never thought.
Showtime.
Yeah,
I got a question for you, just because you just brought it up, and don't kill me. This is just thinking about it. Can Zakaria and Jorginho do a patch job in certain games in the pivot together?
Yes.
I think that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they can, but I also feel like like I said before, Jorginho is the liability. So Zakaria has to be committed to doing two people's job in that
We
sixth
can't put that
position.
on. You're right.
So we can't really do much in the midfield when Jorginho is starting. But you notice that when we play the two Ks in the six, like N'Golo Kante and Kovacic in this.
That's not true. Not you.
How does Italy
I
use
feel like they both complement each other. I feel like one knows they play better together than playing with Jorginho and Kova and then Kante and Kova. I think
how does Italy use
better than
Jorginho?
Jorginho and Kova.
Who plays next?
Listen, Jorginho can be in this team, but he needs to be a squad depth. He cannot be the starter. That is the issue with Jorginho. If Jorginho was our squad player, I'd have no issues. If we were on the 65th minute and I saw Jorginho getting subbed in, I'm actually happy because I know he's going to slow that game down and we're going to probably see it out a little bit better.
But now the question is, are we going to offer the contract to be a squad player? Is he going to want to stay and be a squad player? I highly doubt.
I highly doubt it when he went third in the Ballon d'Or. So it just is what it is, bro. But you know,
that's like saying we're paying
money related.
That's like saying we're gonna offer inflation Mount one of the highest attackers in our team, so he can just have stinkers all game and just run around and just press the ball.
Wait, Showtime, 1 second, please. To that comment, don't ever compare one of our greatest CDMs and possibly one of our greatest midfielders. I don't know how people rank him. I rank him up there. To what we have now, please. Kante, the exception. You can push Kante out to the side, but if you're saying like Kovacic and Jorginho in comparison to Matic and fucking Fabregas, please, bro, I'll lose my shit.
I'm not speaking of history. I'm speaking about currently what we have right now. I mean, like I said.
No. I was talking to the comment show. Yeah, guys, he said we used to play Matic and Fabregas.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Nearly over 600 of you guys here. Big up to every single one of you guys, all of you.
Smash the
likes, subscribe to both channels. We're on our road to 8K subscribers on GNA TV, and Chelsea Fan TV on the road to 160K subscribers. So make sure, guys, that you're, smashing the like, subscribing. As always, we're bringing you great content today. Actually, I've really enjoyed the discussions today. Actually, it's been a nice smooth one. But Jay has joined us as well. Jay, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right.
What are you saying about tonight?
Honestly, a lot of people were saying Zakaria can't start today. I personally don't see why not. Like, although he didn't have a work permit, he's been training since he came in on the Thursday. Maybe not play a whole 90 minutes. Maybe not. But I feel like he can definitely do a solid 60 minutes if we really need him to. And for me, I feel like it would be good to bring something to Dinamo Zagreb. I feel like right now, more than anything, and I'm not saying to be cocky, I shouldn't say Tuchel should be cocky, but he needs to show us what this team can do tonight. I think that's what tonight is the platform for. And for me, I feel like if he tries to play the football that we've usually played and not try to put maybe get on the front foot a little bit, just to maybe, even if that is in the purpose to just appease the crowd, appease some disgruntled fans at the moment, you need to do something. Right now, the image of how we play football, fans are not receiving it well. For me, I'm not receiving it well, because if you keep playing a midfield of a Jorginho and a Gallagher or Jorginho and a Ruben, we will never get that creativity that we want. It is impossible.
True.
So for me, I'm looking to see Zakaria get a solid amount of minutes tonight, and I'm looking for Aubameyang to make his cameo and do something, show us something. That's another place.
Obama who? Obama what?
Blood clot Yang.
Broja gets the shout tonight.
Oh no! Yeah, I think Broja starts. And then Aubameyang makes a sub. I want Aubameyang to start, but Broja,
he just had his jaw broken.
Broja deserves it for what he's
Come
done.
on, guys.
I would play Broja and Kai Havertz and just bring Aubameyang on in the second half and take one of them off.
I want to play Broja and Aubameyang, but people don't hear me.
That means you're gonna have to sit Mason Mount down if Kai have.
Bro, Mason Mount is not a starting attacker for Chelsea Football Club. If he's not starting in the 8, put him on the bench.
Yeah, man, we're too protective of that guy. We're way too protective of that man. He needs to eat the bench for now. He needs to hold the bench for a hot minute until he can start showing something in training or whatever.
I promise you put Mount as an 8, he doesn't get benched. He also plays better. If you don't put him as an 8, he needs to see the bench. It's so simple. It's really that simple, isn't it?
Everybody loves his UCL pass. Look at where he's passing the ball from, you know?
And where was Mount in the UCL? I rest my fucking case.
I would say Mount Tula because someone might turn up in the chat and I can't be having
the minerals.
Come on, minerals. Let me hear you, brother. Tell me what you feel about Reece James being the best player at the club and the future captain over your boy Money Mace.
He ain't starting. Listen, guys, I want to get your score predictions for this game. Actually, going through to Couch. Couch, what are you saying?
I'm gonna say 3-0.
Woo! 3-0. Who's scoring?
I don't know. Sterling get a brace. I don't know.
It does feel like that, yeah.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. CFCOG?
Yeah, I said the same thing already on a few platforms, man. 3-0, so I'm not going to change it. But now Pulisic is going to score, Kovacic, and Reece James has to get a goal again.
Why would you do that, Lewis? Why? Come in my chat. 3-0. Stop it, man.
Oh, everyone's saying 3-0 then.
Zach, if you're there, probably not there. All right, Hassan, what are you saying?
You guys are taking the score. I'm out there. I think it's 3-0. I think it's gonna be a frustrating one. I really think it's gonna be a frustrating one. Like it's gonna be one of them slow breakdown type of games where we score with 1 goal in the first half, look boring, and score 2 in the second. I just don't see them scoring if we have a full strength team.
Well, I'm not going to underlook any team in the Champions League. I'll be honest with you. AJ, what are you saying?
I don't know how that team's I don't really know much about the team in general. But I think Tuchel is gonna experiment a little bit. So I do think we're gonna give up a goal. So I'd say maybe like a 3-1, 2-1, 3-1. I say 3-1, 3-1.
All right, fair enough. Kelly?
3-1. The football finally looks better. We also identify what holds us back from going a step further.
All right, declared.
I was gonna say what Hassan said, but he changed my mind. I think with Hassan saying that, I'm gonna be with everyone else. I'm gonna say 3-1 because that one's gonna come through whoever keeper plays, whether it's Kepa or right. And I also think the goals are gonna come from Chilwell and Reece James or Jorginho or Koulibaly. That's what
it's gonna be the defenders score all the goals.
Yeah, it's crazy. I hope Kovacic gets a goal for half his family is going to be in there, half the stadium is his family there, and Aubameyang debut. So I'm actually hoping for that. But I feel like Zagreb's going to press us, so I think it might be more open than people think.
Yeah.
We do well when teams press us, right? Unless Jorginho starts in the middle.
Yeah, it's more space. That's why. Yeah, I agree with that.
The system's meant for that, but we've been getting caught out in some of these presses.
I'm going to go. Right, listen, I'll do myself.
I wonder why.
What are you saying, Showtime?
I second everybody's 3-1. I think our defense is leaking goals, so it's going to happen. And I think Broja gets a brace. And I think one of those defenders scores a header.
All right. Jay?
I'm going for the most wildest take tonight. The most wild prediction.
Oh, shit.
I'm going for a 4-1. I'm going for Raheem. Raheem gets 1. Broja gets 2. Aubameyang gets 1.
Broja gets 2. That's what I like to hear.
Mine's gonna
be a dream, bro. That would be a dream.
Mine's gonna be a lot more. I think mine's gonna be the most wild then, by the sounds of it, because if Kepa's in goal, and I'm saying this now, if Kepa's in goal, I'm going for 4-3.
Whoa! We're gonna get peppered. What do you think this is, Bev? What do you think?
I think you're gonna see balls hit the post, hit him in the face again, and go in. I think, mate, I can just.
But Jem, Jen,
It's gonna
to be
happen.
You should
fair,
just put £1 on that.
if that game
Just put £1
if
on
that game
that.
goes 4-3, that means our midfield or our defense was shit that game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I'm-
There's no way they just get 3 chances in the whole game and Kepa concedes all 3. That's not gonna happen.
let me reword this. If Kepa starts and Jorginho's in the midfield,
Okay.
and we
Yes.
and we play a back 4. No, yeah,
No,
and we
I'm-
play a
No,
back
back
4.
4. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And we play a back 4, we're going to concede 3 goals. It's going to be 4.
Chelsea FC versus Zenit all over again.
We're
3-3
going to
draw.
score goals because they're going to be open, but I think they're going to throw the bus at us. 4-3.
I feel like
Yeah.
Kepa's gonna be hungry. I feel like Kepa's gonna be hungry tonight. He's gonna
Hopefully 6-0 Chelsea. That's what I'm hoping, but I'm just going to throw it out here.
6-0. Hey. No, I honestly hope Kepa. Let's be real. We want a clean sheet. I want a clean sheet more than 3 goals. I'd rather win this 1 or 2-0 if we get the clean sheet. I actually want us to get back to our defensive solidarity because we need that for the league. That's just how I personally do.
Yeah, if Kepa gets a clean sheet on one of his first games back in a minute, Mendy,
He starts getting followed.
That's gonna look well for Mendy. That's not gonna look
Uncomfortable conversations to be had, lads. That's what's gonna happen.
Clean sheet today.
We got a match reaction tomorrow anyway. So if it's 4-3, 3-1, 5-0, 6-0, 10-0, Chelsea lose 6-1, whatever it is, yeah, we are going to
smash them likes, people.
It's good. We're going to be talking about it. Yeah, we're going to be talking about it. So make sure you find yourselves back here for that reaction as well. Up the Chelsea. Hopefully we do get the win. Yeah, look, it's been a good show today, guys. I've enjoyed it, actually. Some good conversations on Zakaria as well, which was quite interesting as well.
No arguing. It's great.
Yeah, no arguing. You can follow Couch Critic on his YouTube channel, guys. There's still 500 of views here. Couch Critic. If you just type his name in, Couch Critic, that is his YouTube. So go and type in Couch Critic and follow him over there and give him a subscribe, man. He's the Don, mate. He's the Don when it comes to match reviews, man. Trust me. You need to go and get on over there. You got CFC OG, who's got his YouTube channel as well, which is his name, CFC OG. Go and check him out.
I just got back on the live as well. They just let me. They put my copyright down. I'm back on the live. I'm doing a watch along today, but no TV in the background.
All right, watch along on CFC OGs if you want to go over there. So go and check that out. Zach just disappeared, so I don't know if Zach's got Twitter or to him. Hassan's on Twitter, which is his name at Unnamed Wrecker, so you can go and check out Hassan on Twitter. AJ, first time here, mate. I don't know if you've got Twitter or YouTube. Or what you do, mate.
I'm low key. I'm just watching.
Exactly. I feel you, AJ. Is vibing, bro.
But I'm open to coming back. Let me know.
Hey, you're always welcome, mate. It's good to have you on.
You're welcome, man. Much respect.
Make sure you get yourself on more often, mate, when you get the chance.
For sure.
Kelly, Kelly's just here.
All right, I'll give him the Twitter, man. It's Devin Too Real, a Y in Devin. If y'all want to follow me, you can, because I talk a lot of shit.
Type it in the chat.
Yeah, type it in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be better. Declared his name. Declared. He's Declared CFC on Twitter as well, so you can follow Declared on Twitter, and he's here as well with his Fator picture, which is funny.
I love that.
Oh, and if you have an actual channel similar to Jam and Couch and OG, link it in the private chat so I can give you guys a follow. Try to give you guys some views and like.
Yeah.
Always here for the support.
Jay's Twitter is JCFC11, but Jay's always here anyway, and he's over at CFC OGs, and he's here. He's everywhere, Jay, mate. He's everywhere. So you can just find him out on Twitter as well. And Omarina, Showtime is actually. Are you going to change your name from Omarina? She's gone, mate. Like,
she lives on forever, bro. She lives on forever. It's deeper than football.
It's grieving right now, bro.
It's just like little baby says. You know how little baby says bigger than black and white. It's deeper than football, bro. Come on, bro.
In that Showtime when he goes to sleep at night, bro, he just be closing his eyes and he sees Marina, bro. He's like, Marina.
I remember when Marina left Chelsea, and I was waiting on Twitter for Showtime, like just to see his comments in it. And my goodness, mate, he was fuming. He went mad.
He went mad that day. I actually saw it.
I wasn't pleased at how soon that this guy let her go, but it's okay. He didn't spend $200 million in the transfer market, so I got to give Bowley a little bit of round of applause for that. So, as long as he continues to spend and continues to improve this club, he's on my good side. The one mess up, hey, bring back Marina. You already know how.
That's crazy. One mess up, not even two. One.
All it takes is one.
I mean,
all it
she
takes
could
is
work if we have a sporting director and she just does what he says. Then maybe
not a sporting director. Well, we need a sporting director. I'm saying we had a better scouting network.
Yeah,
we had a better scouting network too. I think Marina would have been excellent.
Chelsea fan TV viewers, go and follow GNA TV, which is my channel. We're on our road to 10k subscribers over there. So if you haven't followed GNA TV, go and follow GNA TV as well, and vice versa. GNA TV followers, there's 200 of you there. Go over to Chelsea fan TV and subscribe to them over there as well. Just share the love, man. Just share the love. We're both combined watching shows most days because I air on both. Chelsea fan and
it's just a click of a button. It doesn't take money. It doesn't take anything. Smash them likes. Hit them subscribe.
Smash the likes and smash the likes for Chelsea winning today. But we're going to leave it there. We'll be back, like I said, for match reaction. Hopefully it's a nice show tomorrow. We can come on and we can be happy for goals. Hopefully it's not the other. It's not the latter where we lose the game and we're slagging off players. And I've had enough of that. I can't be having one of them days. And agenda's running wild as well. So yeah, big up everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the game. The game kicks off in 2 hours and 15 minutes, guys. Yeah, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I miss you, Timo.
See you again very soon.